Hi, and welcome to My Empowered Living TV. My name is Ezurike-Bosse, business and lifestyle strategist at myempoweredliving.com. So let me ask you, have you ever been really so close to having a dream come true, something you've been wanting to manifest for so long, just to experience an apparent setback or even failure? Now, this is something that happened to me recently, and I really wanted to use it as a teaching moment to really show how I use this apparent setback to a better opportunity for myself. So, something that I've always been looking to do is be featured on Huffington Post. You know, I've admired Arianna Huffington for what she built with Huffington Post, and it was such a great platform to be able to have my voice heard. And it was something that I've always thought of and dreamt of, but never really thought it would happen. So recently, you know, I got the courage to email Arianna herself with a post that I had written in the past, and just to see if that post could be featured on Huffington Post. To my amazement, I got an email back from her saying, "Uchechi, thank you so much for thinking of us. We would love to feature your voice on HuffPost about letting go," which was a post that I wrote about. "I'm CCing our senior lifestyle blog editor, so you can send her your post, photo, and bio directly. All the best, Arianna." So I was so super excited, and of course right away sent all my info, all the information back to the senior editor, and just waiting for it to happen where I can finally say that I was published on HuffPost. However, a couple days later, I got an email back from the senior editor saying, "Thank you, Uchechi. Unfortunately, this particular piece is not a fit for us. But thank you so much for thinking of the Huffington Post." So, of course, I was so distraught. And here's the thing. When I got that email from Arianna saying it's a go, I went to my Facebook page and I sent out a Facebook status on how excited I was that I got an email from Arianna. I was so excited to be featured on Huffington Post. So, it was such a setback for me because I was so on a high from getting that email just to experience such a low that it wasn't a particular fit, right? But what I did at that moment was, I sat with the disappointment for a while. I gave myself that. But then I said to myself, I'm not going to let this be my reality, right? And I didn't really tell anybody. And I didn't tell anybody about that, not because I was, ashamed, although I was a little bit disappointed, but not that because I didn't want people to think, oh, I'm not being featured anymore. But for me, I did not want to make that real. So I said to myself, I am going to be published on Huffington Post. And so I decided to walk my talk, right? So I said to myself, what are 5 great things that can happen from this? And, even for myself, the post that I had originally written, I said to myself, I can do another post that really will showcase my expertise. The one that I did was more personal. I didn't feel really highlighted my expertise. I'm like, you know what? I can rewrite another one that will. And even for myself, one of my benefits was I can actually use that as a tool. I can say I experienced this setback, and that could be something that I can blog about in future. So just like this blog that I'm doing right now, that was one of the benefits that I came about in my reasoning to say I can actually use it to blog about it and say how I overcame it. So then, a week or so later, I had written another one, submitted it to the senior editor and said, you know what, I hope this is the right fit. And one of the things that I did too was to say, I didn't focus on the fact that they said no. I didn't focus on it. What I focused on was, she said this particular piece. So really, she wasn't saying no to me. She's just saying that particular piece. And that's why I gave me the confidence to submit another one. And most times people would focus just on the negative and not seeing the other underlying opportunity. So I saw it as it wasn't that I wasn't good enough, but maybe this particular piece didn't fit, but I could do another one. So that's exactly what I did. Wrote another one, sent it off to her and say, you know what, here's another one for your consideration. I hope this is a better fit for you. Looking forward to hearing back from you or something like that. To my surprise, I got an email welcoming me into the Huffington Post blogging community. Now, what this means is I can blog for Huffington Post anytime that I want, as many times that I want, and it doesn't have to go through an approval process. So I actually have an account created for me through Huffington Post where anytime I want my voice to be published on Huffington Post, I log on, send it off, and I'm able to have this. So this is a beautiful lesson that I really want you to take home, because things are going to happen on your road to attaining your goals and something that you really, really want, right? And sometimes we'll get that yes and we're on a high, and then we'll get that apparent disappointment. Don't take that no for an answer. Don't let that delay be your denial, because it's not. And yes, I was disappointed to begin with, but had I stayed in that disappointment and say, oh, it's not good enough, I'll never make it on Huffington Post, I would never now be that regular contributor to Huffington Post. So from that, I actually have a better opportunity with Huffington Post than I originally went into. And that apparent failure or setback led me to this point. So I just want to show you that that's a great reminder, and that's going to lead me for the tip of the week for you. So this week, and really anytime in your life, when you come across something that looks like an apparent setback, instead of focusing on what went wrong, start looking for solutions. Try to say to yourself, whatever predicament that you find yourself in, what are 3 to 5 things that could come out of that that's going to be better for you? What are 5 positive things that you can take from it? And really start focusing on that solution, because when you focus on that solution versus the problem, you're able to expand on what more solutions that you can do, and it'll really take you out of that victim mode. And finally, take action on the solution that you come up with. Really take action. Like for myself, I said to myself, I can use it as an example for a blog post. I can craft another blog post that would be better for them. Had I just left it at that and just sat on it and not do anything, I would have not had that better results that I had, right? So I said I can do a better post for them. I actually took action to write another post and send it to her, emailed it to her, and now I had the results that I want. So think about 3 to 5 things. I would say go for 5, but think about 5 things that could be a benefit to the predicament that you're in, and then take action. Really focus on that solution and take action. And before you know it, you'll be on the path to turning your obstacles into an opportunity for your growth and development. So that's it for me this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for letting me share my message with you. And if there's somebody that you know, friend, family, colleague, that are experiencing some apparent setback, please share this post with them, and maybe that could be the catalyst for them to see it as an opportunity for their growth and not see it as something that's holding them back, and focus on what's great. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on My Empowered Living TV.